I'ma have it one day.
All right, the end of Adam 22.
Hottest topics on my channel used to be the downfall of Adam 22 and the dismantling of his brand No Jumper. Basically, No Jumper completely imploded back in 2023, not only losing some of their most popular talents, but also creating this never-ending beef between
Everybody
Adam
is gone.
and the at the time recently departed.
Paid for the funeral as soon as it happened, just because.
I remember, bro. I forgot his name,
Now
though.
after this, Adam would look at his brands in a completely different light.
I didn't set down any boundaries in the beginning. It was just like, here's a table, here's these cameras, here's these 4 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Do whatever the you guys want.
And while people enjoyed the content farm that No Jumper had become, he had held the claim that he was actually losing money on these new shows that he had created, and obviously the talent that he had hired.
Nah, that's old.
After this, Adam seemed extra anxious to cash out and completely changed the way that he was operating, hiring some new talent while retaining some other guys, and really just trying to keep No Jumper's head above water. And I feel like the real desperation would not start until his wife Lena announced that she would be appearing in an adult video with porn star Jason Love. Keep in mind, this came right on the heels of her and Adam getting married. And of course, we all know how that thing ended. And with Adam completely leaning
I ain't
into
gonna lie though, Jason Love dropped premium on that nigga, bro. Like, pause, that sounded gay, but Lena is the nigga, bro. I wonder if that shit like up their relationship in any way, bro. Like, the way that nigga dropped that shit off, bro. Cause that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy work.
to this arc of his career, even calling himself the king of all cups, aka the guys with the special little chairs in the corner of the room. I actually predicted that this situation would cause permanent damage to his online reputation.
Do you think that you f***ed her better than Adam did?
Well, obviously, yes.
Which, looking back, is exactly what happened. It's like Adam entered a never-ending inferno of getting roasted online. So of course he would double down on the humiliation and the attention by hosting a web show giving away his wife to the man of his choice.
We're gonna get you out of the situation.
Right, but the whole idea is that we're gonna do it together.
Just went there and just pulled my pants down and showed my.
This was a crazy ass.
Now since then, Adam had not really been worth talking about. Honestly, his antics just got stale after he showed up on stream wearing a G-string.
I'm gonna put on this thong and I'm gonna go into the news and I'm gonna say hi to everybody.
And then he was quote-unquote acting like he was shooting a gay scene with none other than Jack Doherty's brother. Something he would later reveal was apparently an April Fool's prank.
To troll the world.
Wait, does Jack Doherty actually have a brother, or is that just cap?
Homosexual.
He just looked
But
like bro?
honestly, at that point, I don't think anyone really cared enough to be tricked. And now apparently Adam has been struggling financially, or at least No Jumper. Recently, they were actually sued by 2 former employees at his company who alleged some sort of discriminatory termination. And then Adam even promoted an alleged crypto rug pull called Coin. And keep in mind, this is something that he was dead against in the past, yet he was completely unapologetic when CoffeeZilla questioned what the hell he was doing.
That nigga knew it was a, bro, he knew it was a scam, bro?
Run a coin. It's lame, and you're gonna scam or get scammed. Then,
what
Adam
the
20 how else am I gonna afford all this Galaxy gas?
And that really made me wonder, like, why would Adam feel the need to scam his own fans for at most a couple $100,000? And now we might finally have the answer to that, as around a month later, several of his podcast hosts and friends have been detained in a large-scale gang sweep.
I heard about this too.
And even Adam himself had some sort of contact with the feds as well.
I made it 41 years into this life before I had involvement, conversation with federal agents.
And now Adam made this video claiming that No Jumper has gone completely broke, but some actually believe this is to avoid paying possible legal fees, or at the very least that he is lying with an agenda. Alright guys, so here we are in the actual video where Adam claims that No Jumper is going broke.
I do not believe that shit,
some sort of logistical issues, and some other unexpected expenses have come up that are basically killing his business.
So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. I know that might sound crazy. Between both of our YouTube channels last month, we got over 25 million views. We're doing well on Facebook and Snapchat. We employ quite a few of the hottest content creators on the West Coast, and we pump out an insane amount of content on a weekly basis.
What No Jumper is.
25 million views is really nothing to scoff at, especially when
Wait, you being dead? You might be living under a rock, little twin.
Most of them are like really long form views. I mean, I gotta estimate that off AdSense alone, they're clearing at least 6 figures, but you guys have to remember that No Jumper has like a massive operation. I think they had purchased like a $5 million building, back in 2022 or 2023. And at the time, I praised them for doing this. I always think it's cool when people can make like a media conglomerate like that. I thought he was going to be like his own little version of Barstool, but I think Adam witnessed firsthand how quickly you can just start burning through money simply because you own this insane building. And when you're just doing a podcast, like, do you really need all of that? Like, I get that it looks cool. I get that you want it to be like maybe the next Barstool, but that business model, especially in this economy, is just really rough.
How could we be going broke? Well, let's start.
Exactly.
We expanded
How?
too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit. We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million, thinking that the growth that we were experiencing during the pandemic was going to continue.
And this is a problem that a lot of businesses made during the pandemic. They thought that...
I don't believe it, bro. I don't believe that shit at all, bro. I do not believe that shit at all. This nigga's lying, bro.
You know, back before inflation, that, oh, these sales are gonna last forever. And now that the economy has essentially flipped on its head, well, a lot of these businesses just cease to exist.
Our YouTube numbers, which had doubled or even tripled, gradually returned to normal. Our Snapchat and Facebook numbers, which had exploded during COVID, sometimes even hitting 6 figures a month, shrank by about 80% or more. Our Patreon, which was...
Yeah, I mean, at that time, I was getting contacted by a couple of reps from Snapchat that wanted to take what I was doing on YouTube and basically make a series, you know, for the Snapchat stories or whatever.
Bro, I gotta lock in on Snapchat, bro, so I can get monetized on there.
YouTube revenue. Apparently, the numbers were insane. Almost like when Twitter first announced their Twitter Blue program, they were paying out a lot of money, but over time, the model is just not sustainable once you keep letting more and more people in.
Was absolutely killing it for a year or two when we were doing uncensored, aka nude interviews with up-and-coming superstars like Kazumi and Sky Bree. Fell off quite a bit with the launch of Plug Talk.
But there was no new interviews?
Interest in seeing us interview stars.
I mean, let's be honest for a second, guys. No one is watching porn so that they can know about the girl's personality. No one's saying, no, I wonder where she wants to get taken for a date.
You might recall that the channel took quite a hit when approximately 8 of our hosts left the platform in March of 2023.
Yeah.
Although we've definitely largely recovered and managed to build up a very healthy roster of talent since then, that certainly took a toll on our business.
I know what Patreon is because I used to watch minorities on Patreon. But I don't get on Patreon. That's the only reason I got on Patreon. I used to low-key. I used to have Patreon, but I don't got it no more. But yeah,
a while as well.
Yeah, I mean, they did recover pretty nicely from all that backlash.
But we were still solidly profitable. That is, until the last few months, where we experienced 2 major L's that we never could have seen coming. First, we lost the No Jumper Instagram. After almost 10 years of building it up and essentially no strikes on our account, we got taken down one day. Still have absolutely no... First, we lost the No Jumper Instagram. After almost 10 years of building it up and essentially no strikes on our account,
10 years.
We got taken down one day and we still have absolutely no idea why. We were bringing in a very solid amount of cash monthly that was keeping us afloat via selling sponsored posts on the account.
You know, I do always wonder if those type of Instagram promotions...
What's the full agenda for today? I gotta be a judge in an hour, bro.
I honestly feel like you'd be better off...
I gotta be a judge for a Food Wars in an hour, bro.
Trying to get your music trending that way through some sort of like sick little reel, sick little short video.
In addition to that, we have been hit with a bullshit lawsuit from a former employee. Now,
I don't know how long the food shit gonna be.
This lawsuit is completely fictional, and every lawyer that I've spoken to about it has described this as basically an extortion attempt, but it still cost us a ton of money already, and it's expected to cost us many hundreds of thousands of dollars to see this through to completion.
God damn. I mean, yeah, I've heard that those legal fees will drain you quick. I mean, I would think if they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on this, it must be somewhat serious. And this Yuri guy, who I think I remember, are suing No Jumper, Adam, somebody named Josh, and somebody named Nicholas. So yeah, they're basically saying that No Jumper and Adam right here are responsible for some sort of acts of discrimination, harassment, and retaliation. I mean, honestly, for all the shoddy things that were going on in No Jumper, like even before all these individuals were employed. Either way, I think this is the guy Yuri. They probably don't want to show his face for legal reasons, but...
It's insane to me that a person that we did so much for can just invent some grievances out of thin air and cost us this much money as a result, but somehow that's our reality and we have to fight this rather than just give in to this piece of shit.
I mean, yeah, because if you give in to one person, it kind of sets the precedent.
Did you peep Invincible season 3? I'm on season 3 right now.
It's going to be handing out settlements.
So as a result of all these circumstances, we are making some changes. Over the last few months, we laid off multiple employees in an attempt to reduce our expenses as much as possible. We closed down our store on Melrose.
Damn.
And we're in the early stages of selling our current warehouse and moving into a smaller space.
Damn.
To be honest, aside from the layoffs, which sucked, I'm pretty happy about a lot of these changes. I've realized that I should have paid more attention to DJ Vlad and kept my overhead as low as possible, particularly in terms of staff and location.
Facts.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that massive building that I guess he bought turned into an insane headache. And I would say the only saving grace here is that really only No Jumper could go bankrupt. Like, it's hard for me to see them coming after his personal assets if he has everything set up correctly.
Confident that once we get the building sold, we'll be in a pretty solid financial position again as a business. I've got another business in the form of Plug Talk, and I've got a pretty decent investment portfolio.
You talking about Adam?
Level. It was a big decision to share this stuff with you
Adam
guys,
22
but
face,
at a
look
certain
at
point I realized that I've been honest with the world about just about everything in my life over the years, and it felt wrong to keep all this stuff that we've been dealing with in secret.
Adam, come on, bro. Be honest about the rug pull, then.
I know what you're thinking. What can you do to help? Well,
I wasn't thinking
I do
that.
have some ideas,
No,
which
we
I'll
wasn't
sort
thinking-
into 3 categories.
Twin, we're not giving you money, gang. Nigga, we're not giving you money, twin. Don't ask for it.
Here: free, cheap, and generous.
Oh, here
Free.
we go. Adam's about to ask the audience for some money to pay those legal fees.
Exactly.
We are really trying to get serious about embracing our members here on YouTube.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about memberships on
This
YouTube?
nigga finna
Have
ask
you
us
joined
money,
this
bro.
channel?
What the
Always getting emails encouraging me to do that type of thing, but I don't know, it's just hard for me to see someone in my audience spending like the same price as Netflix or something like that just so they can watch an extra piece or like an uncensored version of my content.
$5 a month. We've got a ton of awesome benefits, including being able to watch all of our interviews free of censorship and bleeped words before they're released to the public.
Okay.
Members only chat for all of our live stream content.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I guess if you're like a huge time fan and you really want to be in like the members
But
only chat, that's the only reason I can see doing something like
Who's
this.
doing that for?
And I'll also say, like, if you're getting endless entertainment value from somebody and it's pretty much all free, yes, I can see you throwing them like $5 a month.
And for those of you who have more money to spend, we're introducing a mega premium $100 tier to our memberships that will get your name added to the
100.
Boy, get your stupid ass on, nigga. That nigga just said $100, twin. That nigga just asked for $100. Bro, what?